Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'll be showing you how to make bass music in the style of Pangaea, inspired mainly by his tracks Midnight Plane, although I've taken influence from Hex, Router and Trouble as well. The project file, samples and presets are available for a small contribution in the description, and remember to like, subscribe and turn on the bell notifications if you feel like it. If you like Pangaea, check out my Pearson Sound video, which I'll link on the screen and in the description. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram. The link is down below too. Our BPM is 133 and we're in the key of G sharp minor. This is the kick. I've gone for a busy pattern here, like in Midnight Plane, and I've chosen a similar 909 derived kick sample. Then we have the snare. We have an EQ on the channel to remove harshness. This is the clap. Which you can see is layered with the snare at certain points. Then we have a closed hat and a ride in a drum rack. These are in a choke group, which means that when one sample plays, it mutes the other, and the cells have been panned to opposite sides, which we can see here. Then we have the shakers. Again, these are in a choke group and have been panned individually. Then we have the taiko and bongos. The chants. So this is all of the drums together, or everything in the drums group. I've gone for a maximalist interpretation of Pangaea's drum programming, and he might not use as many individual samples as I've done, but I've tried to capture the multi-genre nature of his programming, which often sits somewhere between UK garage, dubstep, techno, and UK funky, like many of the tracks released on Hessel Audio. On the group, we have a glue compressor and an EQ8. Reverb is applied via Send A, which is this edited empty club preset. Next, we have this whoop sample, which notably has long reverb applied, and Pangaea does this in Midnight Plane. You may have noticed the groove in the groove pool, and this is applied to everything in the drums group and the whoop MIDI as well. Then we have the bass. This is a Reese, which I've split into sub and top layers, as the unison detuning made the low end inconsistent. I have a full video detailing this technique, and it'll appear in a card on the screen now. For the top, we have a sine wave taken down by 2 octaves with its unison increased to 7. In the FX, we have distortion with lots of drive, and the filter is on post. If I turn this off, you can hear its effect. On the chain, we have an EQ3 to split the frequency areas. For the sub, we have a sine wave in the sub oscillator taken down by 2 octaves. On the chain, we have a compressor for consistency and an EQ3. On the channel, we have an EQ8, removing muddiness, utility to ensure the sound is mono compatible, and sidechain compression with the kick being used as a trigger. Pangaea uses respaces in his tracks Hex and Trouble. We have this vocal pad. I've used sampler here as it allows you to loop and crossfade, which effectively makes this sample endless, something I can't do in Simpler. There's a band pass auto filter with an LFO sweeping the frequencies around, an auto pan modulating volume, and a sidechain compressor again being triggered by the kick. These inserts help to create more movement. Then we have the chords made in Serum. We have a sine wave with its unison at 7 and FM from B active with a small amount of modulation applied via LFO1. Oscillator B has its unison at 7 and its level at 0. I've also put oscillator B to 7 semitones, which adds an additional harmony to every note played in effect. There's a low pass filter with its cutoff taken down and modulated by both LFO1 and the plucky envelope 2 to varying degrees, which you can see here in the matrix. In the effects, there's distortion, a filter with lots of drive, and an EQ to thin out the sounds. On the channel, we have an echo. Then on the group, we have an EQ, bass mono, plus reverb via Send A. I also forgot to mention the bass has reverb applied via Send A as well. Finally, we have the vocals, starting with the Dreadvox, which has dubby echo applied. Pangaea uses a time stretch vocal in Hex. Then we have the vocal texture, which has echo with wobble applied in the character tab, an auto filter with LFO, similar to the filter on the pad, and a compressor to increase the volume of the tail of the sound. Both this vocal and the vocal texture pad are organic elements, something inspired by Midnight Plane, Trouble, and Router. On the group, we have an EQ, removing low frequencies, bass mono up to 500 Hz, and reverb has been applied again via Send A. And that's the video. Thanks so much for watching and supporting the channel. Please leave any ideas for future videos in the comments, and I will see you soon.